Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be starting a new series which will teach crochet for complete beginners. This is part 1 to my video, and in this part I will be teaching how to chain and the very basics of crocheting that you should know as beginners. If you have any questions, please comment them down below in the comments, and let's carry on with the video. So for this video, I'm going to be using 4mm brown acrylic yarn, and I will be using a regular 4mm crochet hook. So I have this yarn over here, and I'm just going to find the end tail of the yarn so we can start crocheting. So I found the end tail of the yarn over here, and we're just gonna focus on making a slip knot, and this is something that you're gonna have to do with pretty much everything that you're going to crochet. So we have the end tail here, and we're gonna place one hand at the very end and the other hand will also hold the yarn. Now you're just going to cross them so that a circle forms. Right now the size of the circle doesn't really matter. Now you're gonna have 2 tails of yarn. One is attached to the ball of yarn and the other one is the end tail. Now you're going to place the end tail through the hole you just formed, and as it's going through the hole, pinch it and then pull on both sides so that you make a slip knot. Now again, you still have 2 tails, one that's the end tail and the other one that is still attached to the ball of yarn, and that is the tail that you are going to be working with. So the loop that you have formed, you place your hook inside the loop. Now most likely your loop is going to be way too big for your hook, so the end tail, you're going to pull on it, and that's going to make the loop smaller and fit your hook better. And if you pull on the other tail, then that's going to make the loop bigger. So for the ideal loop size, I wouldn't pull on the end tail too much, because you want the loop to be just a tiny little bit bigger than the hook, so that you can allow the yarn to easily pull through the loop as you're crocheting. So you're now going to grab the yarn with your pointy finger like this, and place the yarn in between your pointy finger and the rest of your 3 fingers. Now everyone has their own ways of holding the yarn and adjusting the tension, but what I do is that I use the remaining 3 fingers to hold on to the yarn, and I use my thumb to hold on to the end tail. Now to make your first chain, you're going to yarn over the hook, and you're going to place the yarn in a way where it's right under where the hook kind of bends at the top, and then you're going to pull through the loop. And that is your first chain done. So now I'm just going to do that again one more time. So you place the hook under the yarn, wrap it around the yarn, face the hook downwards and pull it through the loop. Now as you can see, you have 2 chains completed. So we're going to do that a few more times. So yarn over the hook. Make sure the hook is facing downwards and slowly pull through the loop. And that's your 3rd chain completed. So this yarn over pull through motion is something that you're going to do the whole time while you're crocheting. It doesn't matter whether you're making chains or whether it's a single crochet or a double crochet, but this whole repeated motion of placing the yarn over the hook and then pulling the hook through the loop is something that you're going to be doing all the time, no matter the stitch. So it's better to practice right now with the simple chains. So I'm just going to show you some common mistakes that happen when you're still learning how to chain for the first time. So sometimes the loop that your hook is in, it can be too small sometimes, and that makes it impossible for the hook to pass through, let alone with a piece of yarn. As you can see here, the loop is way too small and I'm struggling to put my hook in. And this can easily be fixed by pulling down on the stitches you just made, and that should loosen the loop. So now I'm going to show you how to count stitches, and this is something that is absolutely mandatory to know, and I'm using red yarn for this because it's easier to see. So over here we have a certain amount of chains, and as you can see they resemble the look of braids in a way. So the easiest way to explain it with this comparison is that one chain is the same as one braid. So when you are counting chains and you have your hook in the loop, you are not counting the loop that your hook is in as the first chain. That does not count as a chain. So I'm going to use this tapestry needle here to demonstrate exactly what one chain is. So this is the very first chain from the hook, and every chain has 3 components to it. So you have this loop on the right over here, and a loop on the left. And if you turn the work around, there is a back loop right over here. But usually the back loop isn't that important, so don't worry too much about finding it just yet. So if we just turn this back around, we have our very first chain right over here, right above where I put the needle. This is the second chain right over here. So this way of counting chains is also the same way that you would be counting stitches, whether it's a single crochet or a double crochet, because the top of any stitch will look like this chain. Now we're going to count the third chain. So this is chain 1, chain 2, and this is chain 3. So I'm going to put the needle right under here to mark this chain as the third chain from the hook. And again, no matter what type of stitch you are counting, you are going to count this exactly the same way. So this is the very end of this part 1 video on crocheting for complete beginners, and thank you for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe, as I am going to continue making these videos in the future. And please follow my TikTok and Instagram account that I have put into my description below. And if you haven't already, check out my very first video on how to make a crochet heart. Thank you!